Good morning and hello. Happy Friday. Oh, it's about time. It's the end of the week too. How are you all doing today? Hopefully pretty good. Um, I'm looking forward to I'm heading into the office today. After the stream. This is I usually go in on every other Friday, do a one-on-one, hang out with some people. It's a more collaborative environment type thing. The rest of the time work remote. It's Situ. Hello. Today we're going to be doing something slightly differently. Yesterday we got a comment or slash a question on one of the YouTube introduction to Yew courses on YouTube, which was how do we do, or maybe more direct, more exactly, it's like what's the best practice for doing HTTP requests inside of a struct component? So going well here. Everything seems to be working. Well, that's always a good sign. Let me see if I could find that specific. Well, it doesn't really matter. It's basically we want to investigate a little bit today into sending HTTP requests from a struct component. And then if we have time, the remainder of the stream will be looking into how to sorry, thoughts. Speaking before I had my figuring out what I want to say. The rest of the stream will be devoted to if we get to it, the new release of Yew.rs, because the maintainer of Yew.rs has decided to untangle some of the code from the required Yew 0.2 release, and basically released it early because it's not actually a requirement for Yew.rs 0.2. Some of it is, so we don't get everything that's awesome, but we get a lot of things that are great. But that being said, going to well, first things first, let's go ahead and create a new project here. Also, I think we've had new versions of Rust drop not too long ago. Come on. So let's update Rust as well. Okay, got that going. CD into code. Have, instead of code, I have a playgrounds. Let's go into Yew. Oh, apparently that's just Yew. So let's do a cargo new. What are we calling this? This is going to be I think this is like playground. I guess like HTTP struct Yew. All right, I want to add this into VS Code here. All right, so that gives us a nice little hello world to begin with. I already have Trunk installed, so we should just be able to start building out a very basic application here. So I'm gonna want a lib.rs. To make this like as small as possible, I'm thinking we're gonna want a component that maybe like the main. So there's two things here. There's a component that calls out and it updates its own state when it loads. There's update state on clicking a button, and then there's updating like a centralized store like Yew.rs. I'm not really sure there's going to be like a huge difference in like where to put them. Let's sort of experiment around with that to begin with. So we'll create the main library here. So I need to bring in you. Oh, I already have this up. It's you. Let's do cargo add you. Okay, don't need to bring anything else in. Let's get a basic struct going inside of here. So we'll use you. Why am I? Oh, I'm not getting any help because it doesn't know about live from main, I don't think. Or maybe it's just because it hadn't run cargo check yet. That's probably more likely. Also, I need to remember how to create a struct component because it's been a while. I think we start with a pub struct. We'll call this like app, and I don't know if I have. We're gonna have maybe an internal state in here for like a button to be clicked. You know, something I could have done last night but didn't do was find an API that I could hit. Let's see, a free API that I don't need to register for. There used to be a Pokey API. Is that still around? See if I mean, I think so. Nice. Okay, this API will always be publicly available and never require any extensive setup process to consume. Excellent. Okay, yeah, I remember when I was teaching, we used to have students use this, and let's see. Okay, so we can use that for API, sort of like to display out. So we're gonna want to have maybe. Let's see, what information from this would we want? No authentication is required. Excellent. We are also a big thing about this, because it's publicly maintained, it's free to use. If you do use this for your own learning, please don't hit it over and over and over and over and over again. What we ended up doing was we created a cache server, so our students would hit that and then it would just forward everything along, but then we cached it until we taught them how to cache things. It's a lot better than just having them have to pay a lot more. Okay, so what I want is probably Pokemon themselves. Okay, so that's like for abilities. I want actually just like the Pokemon itself. I've played a couple of the games, but I am not hugely like aware of like all the different Pokemon and their abilities. But okay, we can do an ID here. So if I give it an ID, we're gonna get back a Pokemon here. So we can do. Let's do something like we create a form. You put in an ID of what Pokemon you want to check, and it will come back and like maybe display the name of the Pokemon. I think that should be fairly simple for us to do. So we're gonna want pub Pokemon ID, which should be how many are there? It can't. Is it over U8? Is it a U32? It might be U32. It's been around for like 20 years, right? So it's there's a lot of them. Let's see. Pokemon name, which is going to be a string. Okay, so then I want to impl, and then this is where I'm sort of forgetting exactly what I need to impl for this. It's like impl component. You're not giving me any help whatsoever. If I pull in that app, I want to do a U. Yeah, I'm not getting any help from this. I wonder if I need to restart Rust Analyzer. And in the meantime, let's go find the documentation for struct-based components. All right, well, this is a pretty basic one here. We have struct, the name of our component. We have the internal state. We import component for the struct, and then we have to do all these things. And then we have the lifecycle methods that are built in here. So we have create, update, view, and I think there's a few more ones that are automatically set up, and we can optionally do them ourselves. Okay, so we're gonna have, there we go, start app, and this is gonna be app from that. Okay. Implement missing members. There we go. Okay, so type message. So I think I mentioned this in the course, but the message is a type that's going to be passed around to go between all these different methods. So specifically, when we click a button, I'm going to send a message to like update it or something like that, so we can handle it, as it were. So our message, if we look at this, is set to be this enum as a message. So I'm going to want a form field that has a just a number that we take in. So I'm going to follow the same sort of example they have. So we're going to do a form enum. These are I have to do it as like message separately because otherwise I think it gets really confused. So message, and this is gonna be Pokemon ID, and you take a U32. What are you upset about? You're not upset. Okay. You are going to be message. Type properties. Okay. So, what are the properties coming in? We have no properties coming in here. It's a top level component, but it would be the same thing. We define a struct, which is going to be what the properties coming in are. It's very similar to the functional components. In this case, it's nothing. All right, so we have access to our context. I don't know if we need to do anything right now, but we're going to return a self with a Pokemon ID of, let's actually maybe have this be an option with a U32 in it. So we'll start with a none. And Pokemon name probably should also be an option with a string inside of that. So we don't have any of those things. Okay. All right, next up, we have context, but we also have access to self to get these things. So I don't necessarily need the context right now. So I'm going to go ahead and underscore them. All right, let's do a, guess we'll do a, like just a plain old div, wrap everything around. And then put like an H1. Look up Pokemon by ID. Okay, so if I just have something like this, and then I need to start a server. Right, I do need an indexed HTML. Let's see, Pokemon lookup by ID. Let's try that again. Okay, and we have a server running at localhost 8080. So here we go. Nice and bright for us. I'll turn on dark mode for this. We have our lookup Pokemon by ID. Great. We're not going to do too much styling. We've done plenty of that with our other applications. For this, we're really going to just focus on the HTTP request itself and like how that would possibly happen. Okay, so next up, I want a form field. So I'm actually going to create a new div that this all sort of lives in. We're going to create a form. I want this to not do anything when is it like action? Okay, so it's like action equals I want like an on submit on here. And that's it really. But besides that, do I need, I feel like I want to say like action equals nothing. But I forget, how do I tell the action is, the method would be get, action would be where it goes. And I don't want it to go anywhere at all. Can I just say that? I don't remember. Then inside of here, we're gonna have an input type equals type equals number. Although they're all really text behind the scenes, this will tell the browser that we're expecting a number, and we can have like a minimum and a maximum, but I don't think it really matters in this case. Okay, so we have input type equals number, and that's pretty much this. Why are you upset? Why is that got a strain, like a different color? I don't know. Oh, I know, because I need to do self-closing. Okay, so input type equals number. I want a label for this, which means I probably want this to be in its own group. So another div. We'll have a label. This is 4 equals. This is the Pokemon. I thought we did too, but what I don't think I did that in a struct component. I think I did it in a functional component. Let's see. Also, good morning, hello, stacking. Okay, so we're gonna do a. This is Pokemon ID, and then we'll give you an ID of Pokemon ID. Okay, so there's that. If we hit save, we now have a nice Pokemon ID here. And then let's also give ourselves a button. A button like this will just be used as the submit button. So submit. Okay, so there we have our very basic form. If I click this, it actually tries to do stuff, which is not great, not exactly what I want to do. We're going to have to handle that with event handlers. So event handlers are pretty much exactly the same thing. We're going to create callback functions, but we have to handle them here in Vue. So let's first, for our input, whenever this gets changed, I want to set what the Pokemon ID is. Can I do that? No, I don't. Can't do that here. No, that's part of the messaging. Okay, so let's see. Whenever we update, oh yeah, whenever this updates. So this is going to be on change on there's on click, but there's it's on change or on something else. I guess on change is when they click off of it but have changed it. So I think that's right. So we're gonna do on change equals this is gonna be a Yew. What are you called? Oh, you're right. Callback from. Callback from. So we get this event, and we're going to emit out this event. We can start with see if we do that, then you go here. So on, is it always just on change? One word? It is. Change, like that. Okay, so now this is this event. I don't have like an on change event, so it's gonna be you, I think. I have to explicitly get it because even though Rust Analyzer figures it out, Rust doesn't, which is interesting. Okay, so we have you. I need to now send you to our update method, which is going to then store it into our internal struct here. So that is probably back to our build the example app. I want to, here we have this callback. Oh, it's a link callback. I forget. Okay, so I need to use the context link callback, and then I pass message add. Okay, so that's what I want to do. So it's not this callback, it's context. Okay, so on change, and that happens on, yeah. So context dot link dot callback. This takes in a function which I care about what we take in, so I think it's the event, right? I need the contents of that. So event dot target dot value. Am I gonna have to like convert you? So event, you are event. I don't know which event that is. Into prop value doesn't seem right. Oh, you give me an option. That's right. So wrap value of. I don't think that's right. I don't remember. I don't remember exactly how to get that. Oh, now I need to remember how to grab that information. Okay, so HTML. Probably not these itself. These are all just components, properties, elements. It's just like doing stuff with that. That's all fun. I want to events. That's just a very simple event. I need to. Well, I might as well bring in glue so I can console log out what we have. And then also we're gonna have to bring in websys so we can get the right ones, and then we'll, yeah. Then we'll do this target check unchecked into, I think is what we need to do. So. All right, so glue's coming in. Cargo add glue. Cargo add. We need websys. Now specifically inside of WebSys, we need. Do I need to tell it? I do. HTML input. HTML input element. I don't know if there's anything else I need in here. I think that should be fine. Which is good because I ran out of space up top, so I can't actually see everything. Okay, and then I should be able to do this unchecked into, which I get from Wasm Bindgen. And I don't think I need any of those. Okay. So, all the fun things we do in here. Okay, so let's go back to here. Okay, so if I get the target, and we can unwrap because I know we're going to have a target in here, so we should be fine. So we get a target, and now I want to convert this into the input target. So that input element is equal to target dot unchecked into. This is going to be an HTML input element. Now that I have that, our value is input dot value to get this, and then let's glue console log the value, just to see if we've got it correct. You are unhappy. What's going on? The treaty-bound message from is not satisfied. We need to return a message. So that's going to be a message. Pokemon ID. Let's just send one. So we will have to return some kind of message from this. So I'm going to return a static, but eventually I do want to convert this into a number, which would be nice. I wonder if I can do a like parse like value into. Probably not safely. It's going to make me do this unsafely. What's the cast? It's U32. I want to from stir. That's not necessarily what I want. Value parse. Okay, it's was that, is there actually a thing? Value? Oh, there is a thing. Oh, right, because of this thing, value. I was like, what's value? Value is my variable name. Right, thank you. Parse, we're gonna parse it into a U32. Thank you, Isutsu, for this. And then of course we have to unwrap because, you know, that. So then you are borrow move value. Yes, I know. Okay, here that. So that message is going to go into the ether for right now. Let's see if we can get. Let's see if we can get that console log. Okay, so back to you. And back to you. Okay, when I say 5 and hit submit, okay, when I hit 5 and then say out of here, we get 5 right here. So excellent. Okay, now on update. I like to do this in the order of like view being last. I think that's from like a React thing that I was doing where like I always had like my render function at the very bottom. I had like the constructor at the very top, and then the everything else are sort of like mismatched, and I never really cared about the order of them in the middle. But all right, I want to update. I think is function update. So this now I have mute self, I have context, and then more importantly, I have this message coming in. So I can match the message. So if it's a Pokemon ID, what I want to do here is simply store the Pokemon ID in here. So we're going to do self.Pokemon ID equals some ID. And that's it. That's all I really care about. Expected a Boolean found that I want to set that equal. Oh, right. And this is returning whether or not we are going to re-render. So right now, false. We are not going to re-render. Okay. Don't need the context yet. And so now I can, because I have access to self here, I can just say, we'll do this. We have this H1 here. Let's give ourselves some space. We'll do like an H2. This can be let's do a format for this. Looking up, I guess like Pokemon info for ID. This can be self dot Pokemon ID, and I don't want to take ownership of it. There we go with that. Why are you upset? Because I didn't create a new div. Oh, you're not an actual close. That's why. You argument never used. Oh, because this is a. All right, so we need this to be an if self dot Pokemon ID is some. Can I do an if let on this one? I don't remember if I can do an if let here. So if let some ID equals Pokemon ID. Then we'll put this H2 in here. And then this will be Pokemon info for ID. This becomes a lot easier. Oh, come on. Come on, mouse. Help me out here. Okay, also, click the right keys on the keyboard. Okay, so you're sitting here like that. I hit like 5, and you don't do anything. that shows up there. I did save. You rebuilt. Did you actually send away? Also, I don't know if that does anything here. Let's try this. Oh, I set the update to false, so it never doesn't re-render. Yeah, that's silly of me. True. No, to be a number, please. There we go. Pokemon info for ID 4. Thank you, Institute. And so now as we update this, we now see this down here. So great. So we're updating state, and we're getting to that point. Now, when I hit submit, I want to do a very similar thing. I want to actually go out, hidden API, and get the information. I'm a big fan of hiding away the API call into a different file. So I'm going to create an API.rs file here. All right, so we're going to do I don't think this needs to be a struct. This could just be a bunch of functions. So async hub function get Pokemon by ID. We'll take in the ID, which is EU32, and we will return pub struct Pokemon, which means we're gonna need Surday and all the fun stuff that comes with that. Okay. This is gonna be a result. Yeah, because like we don't know if it's gonna work. So hold on. Let's also bring in cargo add. All right, so we need Surday. Is it underscore or is it dash? I never remember. It's Surday and then Surday underscore JSON. Okay, so cargo add Surday. With Surday derive. So dash F Surday derive. Cargo add Surday JSON. Thank you for that also, Institute. Don't need any of those. And let's see, what was the cargo add air. Using air because I like it. All right, so we're gonna do have to wait. I just did a whole bunch of things, and now REST Analyzer's got to do a whole bunch of scanning. Okay, so we want result from air, and we're gonna return a Pokemon. Okay, Pokemon is not gonna do that. We're going to derive. All right. I think we have to derive what Surday serialize and deserialize. We're gonna use glue for this. So let's see, and it's async also, which means we can do the awaits in here, which we kind of have to. So we're gonna do glue net HTTP request get. All right, what is our URL? We're going to do a get to here. But we also need to put that in a URL. So do that URL equals bring in the ID like that, and that should be enough for us to now use this URL here. Okay, so request get. Do I need any headers? I don't think I do, right? It's just super simple and basic and just send a get request to it. Okay. And what I probably care about is the name. That's all I really care about right now. It's just the name for this. So we're gonna say you have a name. Name is a string. Sudo, hello. Okay, so I'm going to get this URL. You need to be a reference. Okay. All right, so get the URL. I don't need to send headers. I don't need to send anything else. We're going to send, and then we're going to await. And then that gives us a result. So I'm going to question mark that, which gives us the actual thing. So I want to get the JSON, and I want to tell it to go into Pokemon. We have to await again and question mark. And I think that gives us what we want. Result Pokemon or an error. What are you upset about? Expected a result Pokemon. Right. No, result Pokemon. Oh. There we go. Okay. So this now gives us... did I do this wrong way around? Yeah. I often do that too. Put the pub and async on the wrong side of each other. All right, now what are you upset about? Expected enum result. Oh, it's the wrong kind of result. So let's grab this into a variable. So that's Pokemon equals this. I'm going to question mark you, and then we're going to return an OK with the Pokemon in it. Okay, so this is a very quick, hey, we're going to get the name of the Pokemon out of here. Okay, great. So back to our main library. I want to run this on submit. So when we hit the submit button or we press the return key when we're in that number, we're going to trigger us going out. So the question is, where do we want to trigger that? Is that going to be here in the view? Or is it going to be in the update? I kind of like the idea of us doing this in doing like the actual call out in the update. That way the view is not concerned with actually sending stuff out. The view is concerned with sending things elsewhere into the app. So let's do this. Let, is it on submit? Did I miss it? Is it in alphabetical order and I'm just being really slow? It is. On submit. On submit equals. Okay. We're gonna do context.link callback. We have our function. Now in here, I do want the event. I absolutely need that. This event is a focus event. Did you pull that in? No. Okay. I'm going to do event dot prevent default right away so it doesn't reload and refresh the entire window. And then I want to return. Okay, so this message is that we called out and we are hitting the get the Pokemon name. So submitted. and we will put you on the form here. So on submit, I don't know. I'm just going to ignore these. On submit. On submit. Like that. So now that will prevent the default action of refreshing the page, and it will pass this message submitted. We have to handle that inside of here. So fill match arms. Okay, so when we submit, what do we want to have happen in here? Okay, well, when this happens, we need to do the call out to our API, get the Pokemon, and then store the Pokemon name into self, and then we want to re-render the screen. So, all right, well, we need to do an async block to have this work, which I believe we can do with the Wasm Futures, which we don't have. So let's grab that. I think it's Wasm. This one is Wasm Futures. This one is dashes, right? It is indeed. Okay, so Wasm Futures, exactly like that. Okay, cargo add Wasm Futures. I don't care about any of these features. Sudo, we are building an example of a struct component in Yew.rs hitting using an API. And so I decided to use the Pokemon API for this because it's free, it doesn't require any authentication, and it really just allows us to focus in on the basics of what we're trying to do, which is what I would consider, with my experience right now, a best practice of doing that. And so, like, for me, it's send out the API call here and update. Also have the API defined in another file. So we need this Wasm here. So we're gonna do Wasm Futures spawn local. We have an async block. Now I would have to move something in. So if I had like an API key, if I had, well, actually, you know what? I do need something else. We need the Pokemon ID. So let Pokemon ID is equal to self.Pokemon ID. This is an option. So really, I only want to do this if we have one of them. So if let Pokemon ID, so this is going to be a sum, equals self.Pokemon ID. Okay, so I have you. This block now happens in here. We're going to do a async and move. We're going to move this Pokemon ID. It's a U32, so it'll implement clone, or it'll implement copy. So we'll move that inside of here. And then also, if this is a none, so an else, I want to return false and not re-render. There's nothing that we're doing, which means this now is going to happen inside of each of you. So set that, and we'll return true. Okay, so you mismatch types, right? We're gonna return true at the end of you to make you happy. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to grab, and also the self thing is going to be interesting, isn't it? Because this is a self app. How am I gonna get? How am I gonna get the name into there? Because that's gonna be like the next sort of problem we're gonna run into. Well, let's worry about that in a second. Let's first get the name out. So, I don't think there should be an error, but just in case, well, we'll unwrap it. I'm sure it'll be fine. So, we want to do a let our Pokemon equals. This is going to be getting it from the API. So API get Pokemon by API. Pokemon API. I await that and then unwrap, or the other way around. Can I find value Pokemon API in the scope? I was really hoping that it would move in. Oh, also, if I named it the same, it would probably find it. I mean, just a thought. Just a thought. Okay, so now I have our Pokemon here. I mean, potentially. We can, what I can do is let's start with like just a glue console log Pokemon name. That's it. I just want to log out the Pokemon name and see whether or not this works. And then, sure, true, we're re-rendering. I'm not changing anything yet. And also I need to restart the server. Okay, so if I do 5, that did not hit. Did that not hit because I didn't do the things? Let's see. Oh, I have to hit submit. Okay, Carmeleon. And if I do like 10? Caterpie. Okay, excellent. Wonder if it would be against Pretzel terms of service to create a bot to delete their messages. Yes, it actually is, because that is part of the well, okay. It is, I believe, if you don't pay them, because that's how they're trying to make money, or like agree to get like money back from the advertising for like the free service that they're doing. If I paid them, then I don't think they would care. Okay, so we're getting the Pokemon name now. So next up, I want to store this in. You're unfamiliar with Yew, but would you ever want to return true there if you're using a future? So I'm returning true here, and the future is here. And so that's where it gets a little bit interesting, right? Because I need some way to now send out that in this future, in this promise, that I now have this name, but it's an async move into a block, and I really don't think they're going to be happy if I try to put a reference to a mutable struct here. So I might be able to do this with a context. Let's see what I can find inside of here. I don't really have much information. context will you give me? Oh no, these are different types of context. These are like my context as opposed to the context provided to me. It's like the events and using manual event listeners. These are not necessarily what I want. Glue is sending out for that. Let's see. I don't want to have to use a service like this. Like an agent. Uh-oh. Hold on, let me find out what that link was. Oh, okay. Yeah, you were saying I don't. Oh, it thought that it was a link. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, but it was you could probably use context.link send message. Okay, let's take a look into that. You're probably right. So here's this context. I believe that I can. Context is this special context type. I'm gonna have to, before I go into the spawn local like this, but Pretzel can post links. Well, yes, they can post links because I gave them permission to, and also I'm not paying them. And so therefore, that's why it's the terms of service for the music. Okay, so let all right, so I want this link. Okay, so let's maybe like let our send message equals context dot link dot. Okay, so we have send message. Well, ooh, look at this. Callback feature. Callback feature once. Send feature. Oh, okay. I don't think it's a callback. Whatever I need to do, I need to be able to clone it, and that's where it gets a little bit interesting. Send future is going to be interesting. I don't think that's what I want. Call back. Okay, is there a documentation in here on link? These are what are you? Oh, this is that. That's not helpful. Component scope. Okay, so I want to sends a message to the component. Messages are handled by the update method, which determines whether the component should re-render. Create a callback that will send a message to the component when it is executed under the hood. It will. Okay, so that's a callback to an element, which is not what I want. So send message, I believe, is. So link dot send message. There's this send future. If I do send message, sends a message to the component. It's like I almost want to clone out send message or clone link, which I don't think that I can. I think send future might be. This method processes a feature that returns a message and sends it back to the component's loop. Okay. And it takes a feature like this. Okay, perfect. So actually, hold on. I don't need this at all. I don't need wasnn't bind futures. We're going to do an async and a move that into here. Okay. We're going to get our Pokemon API. We're going to await this here. We have the Pokemon name. We know that now. It is a string, so we're going to now return a message. Oh, we need the Pokemon name now. So let's do Pokemon. Just the full Pokemon. And actually retrieved Pokemon, and we'll store a Pokemon in here. Okay, so message, retrieve Pokemon and Pokemon. Okay, so next up, we need to handle that. So, retrieve Pokemon. We have our Pokemon inside of here. All right, so we want this to be a true. So in this case, I don't actually need to. This is not going to do a re-render at this point. So we're going to return a false at this time here. The re-render is going to be down here. Did I miss something? Look at the source of send future. Interesting. Let's go take a look at it. Send future takes in the future where M is into a comp message. Future is obviously the future. Oh, interesting. Link is self-to-clone. It is exactly what you're trying to do is spawn local. Yep. Okay. Well, that's really nice. In fact, it has this spawn local right there. Nice. Okay. That does. Okay. Also, I don't want to make changes to you. So when we're in a function component, we get to use this send feature. Otherwise, we do not get to do that. Okay, so retrieve Pokemon. We then set this Pokemon. So I want to self dot Pokemon name is equal to some Pokemon dot name, and then return true. So now we're going and we say down here, we have this h2 and finally a div. We'll do format Pokemon name. Let's actually just do this all one right here in this h2. So Pokemon see. Oh my gosh, come on. Okay, so you selected maybe it will just be do has ID. Now if let some, I can't do like an and here yet. So if we have an ID, do I also want to do this thing? Probably. Do I want both together? I don't know. That might not be great. Let's see. Oh, I guess like let's just do the basics. Come on. Pokemon selected. We'll throw in the ID here. And we'll just throw in like a div and say something like submit to get the name. Okay, so we got that. Now we'll do another if let sum. And we'll put in the full Pokemon. I guess this will be the name. Equals self dot Pokemon name. So for here, we'll then just say div Pokemon name format. Okay. So that should handle all of those. Come back to here. So if I say 4, we have Pokemon 4 selected, submit to get the name, Pokemon name, Charmander. Okay, excellent. So if I do 44, Gloom. 99, Kingler. Okay, awesome. Now we can get any other information that I want, store that. I can get an image tag and store that as well, which might be interesting because I think this API actually gives you an image tag. I don't really care about anything, just maybe an image. Sprites. I just want maybe front default. Yeah, I think that would be it. So maybe the more interesting thing to do with this would be, let's grab sprites out of here. So this is gonna be fun. So we're gonna have a hub struct sprites. This is gonna have a front default on it, and you're gonna be a string. So pub sprite is a sprites, and then you need to derive here too. So now I'm going to get all of that information from this, which means that I can also come back to our main library, and we have our retrieve Pokemon, which it also includes that. So I may not want to store the name here anymore separately. Let's just have Pokemon be an option that has the full Pokemon in it. So Pokemon, see self, this will be Pokemon is a none. What else do we need to change here? Retrieve Pokemon, we get this. Self.Pokemon name. Okay, so this is self.Pokemon equals self.Pokemon and re-render. And so then down here, this becomes a little bit interesting. What if we don't care about the ID anymore? And we just say let some Pokemon equals self dot Pokemon. I don't need you anymore. We're gonna say Pokemon. I want the ID. I want the name now. So Pokemon. Like heck, we could just get the name out of it. So Pokemon dot name. And then I want maybe an image. So image source equals it's gonna be Pokemon dot all right sprites dot front default. You're upset because can I move out? I don't want to move out. Can you handle that or no? I need to clone you. Okay, so are you happy now with this? So we'll say I need, let's do 5. I get that. I hit submit. And now I get Pokemon Charmeleon selected. And the image, the sprite of Charmeleon displays there. And so, I mean, hopefully you can use this as sort of an example of like now just how to go off and run with it. The key points to cover again, I like to have my API calls themselves, like the API in usually like one folder or at least one file. Group them together if you have like a ton of API calls, maybe like grouping them by like types or some kind of category, but usually in one location in the code base. So I usually put that under like an API, and then multiple files or not, they sort of get pulled together by that module. I don't like to do the API call, to call the API call in the view folder. I like to do that in update. And then that it sort of like sells another update from there. I think that's sort of like the basics and should get you going. So that's the beginning of it. This isn't really like a course because it's more of like a live stream of me figuring it out. But I'll get this published and tag the asker of that question. But hopefully this was helpful for all of you or anybody who's watching it who wants to do HTTP requests instead of a struct component. And yeah, I don't think we actually did this in the course. I think we just did some basic message passing that was synchronous, not asynchronous. So, anyways, because I'm running out of time, I have to head off to my day job. Let's see. Sunday I'll be back. We're gonna play Screeps again. See if we can get any more. See what we have to do for our strategy. I'll have to think about that tomorrow. And then Monday we'll be back. We're gonna look into the new version of Yew.rs and get that going. And maybe like apply that to our main code base. So I don't have anything else. So have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time, whenever that is. Bye.